This is Voice of Korea.
You're listening to VRK Voice of Korea News Now.
The 11th Politburo meeting of the 8th Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea was held at the headquarters building of the Party Central Committee on November the 30th. The respected Comrade Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, was present at the meeting. The meeting was attended by members of the Presidium of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and members and alternate members of the Political Bureau of the Party Central Committee. The meeting discussed an issue on the convocation of the 6th plenary meeting of the 8th Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. Kim Jong-un presided over the meeting. A report was made by Cho Young-won, member of the Presidium of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and Secretary for Organizational Affairs of the Party Central Committee. The report made a summary and analysis of the implementation of the major policies of the party and the state this year, and presented important agenda items to be brought up at the 6th plenary meeting of the 8th Party Central Committee. Kim Jong-un said the internal and external environment in 2022 created in our revolutionary advance was the adversity unprecedented in history, testing our will and fighting efficiency. But a new phase for the revolutionary development of the state has opened, and the national prestige and glory have risen to a new stage thanks to the correct leadership ability of the Party Central Committee. In order to amplify the positive changes made in the whole of party building and state affairs this year and powerfully step up the huge tasks of the new year, it is very important for all the sectors to decide on the next year's plan properly by finding out in an innovative way the issues which can be solved with our potentialities on the basis of a correct analysis of the experiences and lessons accumulated in the course of this year's struggle, he added. Kim Jong-un also said 2023 is a historic year marking the 75th founding anniversary of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and the 70th anniversary of the victory in the Fatherland Liberation War, and at the same time, an important year that should provide a decisive guarantee for carrying out the 5-year plan. And he concluded some principled issues arising in mapping out dynamic, progressive, scientific and detailed plans for implementing the major policies of the party and the state in the new year, which should be decorated with greater victory and successes than this year. The meeting gave assignments concerning the preparations for the plenary meeting. The Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea adopted a decision on calling the 6th plenary meeting of the 8th Party Central Committee late in December with unanimous approval. Decision of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, November the 30th, Juche 111 or 2022. On calling the 6th plenary meeting of the 8th Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. The Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea decides to call the 6th plenary meeting of the 8th Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea late in December in order to sum up the implementation of the party and state policies for the year 2022 and discuss and decide on the work plan for the year 2023 and some important issues arising in the development of the party and the revolution at present. The Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. The respected Comrade Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, invited 705 pilots of more than 20 regiments of 5 divisions to the headquarters building of the Party Central Committee on the occasion of the Aviation Day to warmly congratulate and encourage them who had been involved in the General Combat Sortie of the Flying Corps of the Air Force, which mobilized 500 fighters of different kinds for 3 hours and 47 minutes on November the 4th. the commanding personnel and pilots of the Air Force successfully launched a large-scale general sortie with a resolute will and overwhelming militant spirit to cope with a large-scale joint air drill of the enemy under the order of the Party Central Committee, and thus rendered services to powerfully demonstrating the firm spirit of Juche Korea against the enemy and her invincible stamina. Kim Jong-un invited them to the capital city Pyongyang on the occasion of the Aviation Day and showed great privilege and special benefits to them. When he showed up, all the participants paid the greatest respect to him. Acknowledging their enthusiastic cheers, Kim Jong-un paid warm militant respect to the reliable pilots who displayed all over the world the ideological and spiritual superiority of the Air Force that can defeat any formidable enemy at one stroke, the principle of more thoroughgoing and merciless action against the enemy, and excellent actual war capacity by carrying out the battle order of the party in the large-scale air operation unprecedented in history with prompt and perfect practice. He said the air myth of invincibility is created not by any latest fighters, but by the pilots armed with indomitable spirit. It is a great pride of our party, country, and people to have the brave pilots with a clear outlook on the principal enemy and the Juche-oriented attitude towards war, who go through thick and thin to destroy the stronghold of aggression true to the order of the party, he added. Kim Jong-un also said the brilliant achievements of the People's Air Force that resolutely defended the territorial air of the country will shine as an important great victory in the history of the country forever. He had a picture taken with the service personnel of the Air Force, expressing the belief that they would in the future too add brilliance to the heyday of the Juche-oriented Air Force, and reliably guarantee the strengthening of the defense capability, the defense of self-respect of the state, and the enhancement of national glory with fervent loyalty, unrivaled bravery, and heroic militancy. Celebrations of the Aviation Day were held in Pyongyang on November the 28th and 29th. A meeting was held to convey a letter of congratulations sent by the respected comrade Kim Jong-un and award military ranks and official commendations to the commanding personnel and combat pilots of the Air Force. Present at the meeting were Park Jong-chun, member of the Presidium of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and Secretary of the Party Central Committee, Lee Yong-gil, Minister of National Defense, Jung Kyung-taek, Director of the General Political Bureau of the Korean People's Army, Lee Tae-sop, Chief of the General Staff of the Korean People's Army and commanding personnel and pilots of the Air Force. The letter of congratulations sent by Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, was courteously conveyed to the combat pilots, commanding personnel, and all other officers and men of the People's Air Force greeting the Aviation Day. In the letter, Kim Jong-un warmly congratulated the entire officers and men of the People's Air Force, greeting the Aviation Day this significant year when the exciting extra-large events are taking place one after another in increasing the national power of the DPRK and demonstrating its national prestige, and paid noble respect to the self-sacrificing heroes of the Honorable Air Force, who devoted their all on the road of loyalty and feats of defending the territorial air of the country. It can be proudly said that 2022 is the year of the People's Air Force and the year of its victory, he said, and highly praised the pilots who have considered the spirit of devoted service for the party, revolution and people to be the lifeline and noble duty for having resolutely neutralized the reckless military attempt of the enemy and powerfully demonstrated the Air Force's capacity and will of prosecuting war by displaying their unparalleled loyalty, militancy, wisdom and valor. Kim Jong-un put forth militant tasks for the People's Air Force to make full preparations for cultivating the quality and discipline of revolutionaries as the first death-defying core of the Workers' Party of Korea in every way, and coping with any military crisis immediately and powerfully. He expressed the belief that the entire pilots, commanding personnel, and other officers and men of the Air Force of the Korean People's Army would add brilliance to the history in which they have been absolutely faithful to the party and the revolution, the honor and high-spirited heroism of the great victors, and the proud tradition of victory, and thus keep making a wonderful contribution to defending the cause of the Workers' Party of Korea and opening up a more glorious and prospering new era for our great state and our great people. An order of the chairman of the Central Military Commission of the Workers' Party of Korea was conveyed on promoting the military ranks of the commanding personnel and pilots of the Air Force, who creditably carried out the battle order for flying given by the Party Central Committee, and higher military ranks and general officers' dress uniforms were awarded. A decree of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK on commending the commanding personnel and combat pilots who display the unrivaled bravery and indomitable fighting spirit was conveyed. And then the title of Hero of the DPRK and Gold Star Medal and Order of the National Flag First Class were conferred on Kim Kwang-hyuk, and orders and medals on commanding personnel and pilots of the Air Force. There were speeches. The speaker said the proud victory of the People's Air Force to shine brilliantly in the heroic Korea's history of confrontation with imperialism and the United States is a signal victory of the unusual and extraordinary leadership of the peerless commander Kim Jong-un, who launched the unprecedentedly large-scale military operation for counteraction, commanded on the front in person, and illuminate the cause of victory with its outstanding military wisdom, iron courage and confidence, and special trust in the pilots. They made a firm resolve to win a great victory of the Kim Jong-un Flying Corps by diving into the enemy's stronghold as fiercely as the storm of the Baekdu, and at one stroke like the lightning of the Baekdu when the time of decisive battle comes. A letter of pledge to Kim Jong-un was adopted at the meeting. There was a joint performance of the Ministry of National Defense, Navy and Air Force song and dance ensembles in honor of the participants in the celebrations of the Aviation Day. A grand banquet was given for the commanding personnel and combat pilots of the Air Force.
Symposiums were held in North and South Pyongan, Jagang and South Hamgyong provinces to deeply grasp the ideology and theory on party building in the new era set forth in the historic lecture given by the respected comrade Kim Jong-un to the teaching staff and students of the Central Cadets Training School of the Workers' Party of Korea. Present there were Moon Kyung-dok, Chief Secretary of the North Pyongan Provincial Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, Lee Jong-nam, Chief Secretary of the South Hamgyong Provincial Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, Jang Song-ho, Secretary of the South Pyongan Provincial Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, Kang Yong-chul, Secretary of the Jagang Provincial Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, and party officials and teachers and students of the party officials training institutions in those provinces. Made public at the symposiums were papers profoundly proving the validity and scientific accuracy of the immortal ideology and theory which guarantee a new eternal prosperity of our party building. Speaker said the respected General Secretary Kim Jong-un has presented the Immortal Great Program, which will confidently open up a new heyday of strengthening the whole party and accelerate the victorious advance of the revolutionary cause of Juche in the historic period when an all-people grand march is launched vigorously for a fresh victory of the socialist cause of Korean style. They stressed that his historic lecture serves as an important guideline which provided the theoretical and practical guarantee for resolutely defending the Juche-oriented idea and exploits of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il for party building. They explained that the proud successes and experiences gained in party building and party work over the past 10 years under the wise leadership of Kim Jong-un are a solid foundation promoting the strengthening and development of the Workers' Party of Korea. They proved that the new 5-point orientation for party building advanced by Kim Jong-un is an immortal guideline which indicated the original path of party building in the new era. They called on all party organizations and party officials to bring about a fundamental change in their work, regarding his historic lecture as a precious guideline for party building and activities, clarifying the revolutionary and scientific fighting tasks and practical ways for the strengthening and development of the Workers' Party of Korea and the victorious advance of the revolutionary cause of Choo Tae. A meeting was held on November the 30th to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the establishment of the State Academy of Sciences. Present there were Park Tae-sung, member of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and Secretary of the Party's Central Committee, Chun Sung-guk, Vice Premier of the Cabinet, and officials, scientists, technicians, and employees of the State Academy of Sciences. At the meeting, Park Tae-sung conveyed a letter of congratulations of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea to the scientists, technicians, and employees of the State Academy of Sciences. The letter said, "It is a very significant event that the State Academy of Sciences greets a new age of its development after 70 years of its sacred course in the period when the Korean Revolution, which set a high goal to achieve overall development of socialist construction, is advancing confidently, bringing about a new turning point for the strengthening of national power." The State Academy of Sciences was established on December the 1st, Choo Tae 41 or 1952, under the care of the great leader Kim Il-sung. The history of its development is shining with devotion and merits of the scientists, technicians, and employees who have defended the cause of the party and made contribution to the socialist construction with their scientific faith, inexhaustible creativity, and sincere efforts. The State Academy of Sciences has played a vanguard role in strengthening the independent power of the state and making new innovations and leap forward in all fields with the might of self-reliance, true to the intention of the party's Central Committee, which valued science and technology as a light illuminating the road ahead of socialist construction and a locomotive leading the times, the letter noted. Kim Sung-jin, president of the State Academy of Sciences, made a report which was followed by speeches. The reporter and speaker stressed that they will carry out the decisions of the 8th Congress of the Workers' Party of Korea and make an active contribution to turning Korea into a developed and civilized powerful country of Choo Tae by bringing about a radical turn in the scientific researches true to the idea and leadership of the respected comrade Kim Jong-un. The meeting adopted a resolution. The Pyongyang University of Architecture, the pedigree firm for training architectural talents of the country, is producing a lot of talented architects every year. In recent years, the university has completed architectural designs of many important construction projects, making a contribution to building monumental edifices of the times. The university has turned into a center of science, information, data service, and online education in the field of architecture under the leadership of the respected comrade Kim Jong-un. The teachers and researchers of the university are conducting brisk research activities to powerfully promote the architectural development of the country while solving scientific problems arising in the study of dry construction method and home production of building materials. The Embassy of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam in the DPRK hosted a reception on November the 30th on the occasion of the 64th anniversary of the great leader Kim Il-sung's official visit to Vietnam. Invited to the reception were officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, including Vice Foreign Minister Park Sang-gil. Present there were Lee Ba-bing, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, and staff members of his embassy. Speeches were made at the reception. An international seminar on the theme of leadership of Marshal Kim Jong-un was recently held in Tarragona of Spain under the sponsorship of the Korean Friendship Association on the occasion of the 22nd anniversary of the establishment of the association. The seminar was attended by Chairman Alejandro Gaudebenos and other personages of the Korean Friendship Association and its chapters in different countries and members of the Group for International Solidarity with the DPRK. Introduced there were the congratulatory letters sent by the Society for the Promotion of Cultural Exchange between the DPRK and Europe and other organizations. Speeches were made by the chairman of the Korean Friendship Association, the chief of the British chapter, and the official representative of the Singaporean chapter of the association, a member of the Group for International Solidarity with the DPRK and others. Speakers denounced the Western media for their false propaganda against the DPRK. They said that they admired the successes achieved by the DPRK. Despite the desperate moves of the imperialists, they can keenly feel the outstanding leadership ability of Marshal Kim Jong-un through 10-year-long history of his guidance, and it is their honor and pride to have such a prominent great man as Marshal Kim Jong-un in the present times. A letter to the respected General Secretary Kim Jong-un was adopted at the seminar.
And that's the end of the news.
Consultative meeting held by a field. Whenever looking at the standardized fields across the country, the Korean people warmly think of the devoted efforts made by the great leader Kim Jong-il for land rezoning. On May the 4th, Juche 87 or 1998, Kim Jong-il, on the way to a unit of the People's Army for field inspection, had his car stopped by a field in Daebak-ri of Changdok County. And he held an unceremonious consultative meeting with the accompanying officials. To their surprise, an issue of land rezoning was discussed at the meeting. Kim Jong-il told the officials that he had long thought of the land rezoning in Gangwon province, and it is his firm determination to do it. And he called for rezoning the land in Gangwon province and boldly doing the land realignment of the whole country with it as a model. That is how the large-scale land realignment was launched at the time when the country was faced with unheard of difficulties and trials. After the land alignment in Gangwon province, small dry and paddy fields completely disappeared and hundreds of thousands hectares of standardized fields appeared in all parts of the country. The consultative meeting held by a field in Daebak-ri was a historic meeting that made it possible to change this land handed down for ages.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.